Learn from your past. Ask your children to do the things, but first do first yourself. Don't become boss, become a leader.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Great Principles. I'm your host Seema Chhoriya and I welcome you all to another impactful session on Great Principles. Today we have with us Ms. Anamika Mishra, Principal of GD Goenka Public School, Faridabad, New Delhi. In this session, we will explore effective strategies to increase student engagement and motivation in the classroom. By incorporating these teaching techniques, I'm sure there would be a great level of engagement of students. These days, students learn with practical exposures. They want to be a part of the discussion. No more we welcome the silent classroom. We welcome noisy classrooms. Let's see how we can increase students' engagement and motivation and ensure that they enjoy their learning. To know more, we have with us our expert of the day, Ms. Anamika Mishra, and I'm really, really honored to welcome her. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. I'm really honored to have you with me in conversation.
Thanks a lot, Seema.
So, ma'am, the topic that you have chosen of student engagement, it's definitely not easy because, we have so many students in the classroom and everyone has some different kind of, what do you call it, different level of liking. तो क्या होता है
Like,
मैम हमारे जो बच्चे हैं क्लास में इतने सारे बच्चे हैं और हर किसी को कुछ अलग चीज़ से वो एक्साइट होते हैं हर किसी का लर्निंग स्ट्रैटेजी डिफरेंट है लेकिन सबको
it is
सिखानी एक
different.
चीज़ है सो दिस इज डेफिनेटली नॉट इजी हम इसके बारे में मैम आपसे बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ सीखना चाहेंगे बट बिफोर दैट आई वुड लाइक यू टू टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट यू व्हाट इज बीन योर एजुकेशनल जर्नी आप इस प्रोफेशन में क्यों आए क्या वो
Uh,
मोटिवेशन आपके लिए क्या थी एंड इसमें कुछ आपके रिवॉर्डिंग मोमेंट कुछ चैलेंजेस थोड़ा सा आपका वंस अपॉन अ टाइम जानना चाहेंगे
okay, so with the very fast start, I'll just want to tell you that yes, I am born and brought up at Bhopal, that too the BHL area. So I did my education from BHL school, and I did my graduation, post graduation from Barkatullah University. Now it is known as Bhopal University as well. And my native is Varanasi. And I worked with at Chinmaya Mission Palghar, Bangalore. I have worked at Bhopal as well, Banaras, Delhi, and now I'm at Faridabad since 2 years. I actually am. I was a student of bio science in 12th. Nowadays, parents and students are gave the name med science, medical science. So it was not like that at our time. At our time, it was like biology. We have chosen and science, and I. Cracked my MPPMT in first attempt, that too without any tuitions or coaching. So I really hate personally coachings and tuitions because they are actually not providing you a proper guide map, or they are actually not guiding. एक time tha, might be they were guiding, that might help students, but now it is completely a business to grab the students और एक साथ पढ़ा देना, और जिसका जो पढ़ने वाला है वो वैसे भी अपने आप पढ़ लेता है. तो आई एक्चुअली somehow I don't like this particular system, or the things which has been generated in past 20-30 years, that to go for the coaching only if you want to crack some of the other examinations. Guidance tak to it is quite okay. So yes, after that, due to some hitches, monetary hitches, I could say. So my father was like, he was very much interested to make me a doctor. But then due to some hitches, he told me कि ऐसा है, पढ़ाई मत करो, अब बस स्टॉप कर दो, ग्रेजुएशन की भी जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज वी बिलोंग्स टू वाराणसी एज आई हैव सेड. तो यूपी में एक कल्चर है, ज्यादा पढ़ लेगी लड़की तो फिर ग्रूम भी वैसा ही चाहिए, and for getting an educated groom you have to spend more. So my father told me it is better not to go for any further studies. So me and my sister, we went and got the prospectus, and when I filled my fees in government college, because in first list my name has been come. So when I was giving us that fees, submitting that fees, it was 254 rupees for entire year. And I thought, इतनी महंगी तो पढ़ाई नहीं है, फिर पापा इतने परेशान क्यों हो रहे थे? So it was like that, and I did, and I have not thought कि yes, I will pursue my career with teaching, but incident happens, or I believe destiny is destined. So yes, when I was in my college time, I saw many of the my friends were taking tuitions. They were giving tuitions, so I thought it is good thing to earn little bit of pocket money. So privy purse, for getting privy purse, I also wanted to do the same, but some hitches were there, as my father was uh, politician and he was a very renowned personality. So it was like ki, at that time teaching tuition and learning by tuition or studying tuitions was a taboo, because if you are going to tuition for studying, that means you are completely dumb, and if you are teaching, that means you are having n number of this you are actually poor by your pocket. So very tactfully, I have grabbed two students, and later on I've started. So my father one day he told me that okay, you have started. I will not stop you, but then do one thing. At least 20% students you have to teach free. आई सेड ओके, मेरे पास वैसे भी हैं जो फीस देते ही नहीं है, मैं उनको मांगती रहती हूँ, मांगना बंद कर दूंगी. सो आई डिड सो, एंड आफ्टर दैट फ्रॉम द स्कूल वेयर आई हैव स्टडीड माय 8, बिकॉज BHL is having some different system. So I started teaching. I taught for very few months there. After that I got married, because in final year I got married. So after my marriage, when I have reached to my in-laws' place, my father-in-law was very much interested in my further studies. So he told me, go and get enroll yourself for MSc chemistry. So I said okay. And the moment I started going to the college, one of the college professor has asked me, "Are you be able to teach BSc level students?" I've said yes, I can. So I did so for I think for a year. I taught BSc level students. After that, from here, a proper journey has started of teaching. So after my MSc chemistry, I left the college and I started teaching in a very small school. At voluntarily I started this कि नहीं, मुझे पढ़ाना है और मैं चाहती हूँ ये बच्चे कुछ कर जाएं. So from there only I started thinking that the way I have got education, because it was completely based on completely rote learning things, and I was not a child who can rote learn the things. मुझे चीजें समझ में आती थी, मैं लर्न नहीं, बाय हार्ट लर्न नहीं कर सकती थी कि आंख बंद करके मैंने रट लिया और वो यहाँ सेट हो गया. इट वॉज नॉट लाइक दैट विद मी. सो आई स्टार्टेड टीचिंग इन दैट वे कि मैं जैसा चाहती थी मुझे पढ़ाया जाए, बिकॉज आई रिमेम्बर देयर वॉज ए पोएम, my teacher is very good and so me, so as I. So at that time my father was very, he slapped me because I was unable to learn that. And twinkle twinkle little star, Johnny Johnny, yes papa. So I got slaps for that. I'm not getting it properly, I'm not learning it by heart. So when I started teaching, I thought अगर मुझे इसका मतलब बता देते तो क्या मैं नहीं लर्न कर पाती? मुझे तो मतलब बताया ही नहीं किसी ने. So I started doing from there. I started telling them the meaning. But then I got meaning बताने से भी इन्हें अभी कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. They are very small. So I started enacted the things. And from there, proper teacher's journey has been started. So I actually, even I got many innovative principles awards, that, and I am an innovative person, too much innovative person I am. So I actually look myself as a very very much innovative person, and I've started my journey. Then what happened when I started from teaching from class 12th. So when I was teaching there in class 12th, I got to know these students are not be able to read properly. And if they are not able to read properly, how will they learn the things? How will they understand the things? So I was in charge of that school as well. So I started asking. I call a meeting And after the calling that meeting, when teachers was sitting in front of me, I've called this meeting only for the purpose I want to know why these students are not be able to read properly. So they have started putting their bags on others head कि 10th ने कह दिया नहीं मैडम वो तो 9th से ही थे, एंड स्लोली वी हैव रीच्ड टू क्लास 1. एंड देन when I've asked, they have simply throw the tried to throw the ball in pre-primary section, on pre-primary section, and those teachers stood immediately and they have said, "Ma'am, हमारे पास जो syllabus था ना, we have done properly. Whatever the curriculum we were having, whatever the syllabus we were having, we have given proper education of that. So we have sent our child in a proper way." So the class first teachers were stuck, and then I have asked the one of my teacher, I have answered, मैडम ये तो बच्चे जो हैं वो दिल्ली 6 के हैं, ये तो ऐसे ही रहेंगे या यमुना पार के बच्चे हैं, इट इज अबाउट दिल्ली, सो ये बदल नहीं सकते. आई सेड ओके, आई विल शो यू हाउ वी कैन मेक द चेंजेस. And I was teaching class 12. I was somehow heading as in charge in that school, and then I took a challenge of teaching class 1. It was really a journey. I could say it is a tiresome journey, but then I've enjoyed a lot, because from there I have learned that why. And from after that, the now CBSE also is having one mandate that if you have to if you want to become a principal, you have to teach even lower classes at least 1 or 2 years. And
Right.
it is very much necessary, and it is very very good, because when I have taught in that class as a mother teacher, because I was teaching English, Hindi, mathematics and EVS. So what I found, syllabus was very vague. अरे class 1 में we are teaching language just to know the language, because language is something, if you will get the knowledge of the language, you will be able to express yourself. And we are giving them teaching of language with a book having 26 chapters, और फिर उसके पीछे भागो, उसके पीछे मैं भी डंडा लेके भागूं, सिलेबस हैज बीन कंप्लीटेड और नॉट, यू हैव टू गो बिहाइंड दिस. सो आई रियलाइज, बिहाइंड द सिलेबस 9th के बाद ही रहने दो. 8th तक तो थिंग्स आर इन आवर हैंड, सीबीएसई हैज गिवन अस द थिंग्स. तो फ्रॉम देयर, just you have asked the topic how student engagement, what I did, I started teaching them. I clubbed English and Hindi language, because what I found, if Hindi is the ladder for Indian prospect,
Right.
for any state, any city. If you are teaching English, because we are focusing on English, because it is the global language and need of the hour as well, but reaching up to the high level of English, we should start from somewhere, and that start without help of any other language we cannot do, because throughout the day children is not with us. They are with us only for 6 hours or 7 hours or 5 hours. So I have made understood parents, because what I found, कि अगर मुझे बच्चे को लेना है अपने पास, तो पहले मुझे पेरेंट्स को समझाना पड़ेगा. For that I have created 5 phonetic charts with n number of differences with vowels and all. And I have made a syllabus and the curriculum in a way, and with timetable I have integrated it with timetable, that मैं अगर इंग्लिश में हम इंग्लिश में अगर वर्ब पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो इट शुड बी क्रिया इन हिंदी. अगर मैं इंग्लिश में नाउन पढ़ा रही हूँ, तो वो संज्ञा होनी चाहिए हिंदी में, ताकि मुझे अलग से एफर्ट्स नहीं करने पड़े, और जो टाइम मेरे पास सेव हो रहा है इस एफर्ट्स के को बचाने के लिए, क्योंकि मैंने संज्ञा पढ़ाया और फिर मैंने इंग्लिश पढ़ाया, तो वॉट एवर आई एम टेलिंग देम, वॉट एवर आई एम टीचिंग देम इन नाउन, ऑलरेडी दे हैव गॉट इन हिंदी पीरियड. तो वो अलग से उसको मुझे बहुत समझाने की कोशिश नहीं करनी पड़ी. एंड वंडरफुली दे वर एक्सेप्टिंग द थिंग्स, दे वर ऑब्जर्विंग द थिंग्स, दे आर एब्जॉर्बिंग द थिंग्स. तो ये एक एग्जाम्पल बता रही हूँ छोटा सा. एंड देयर यू हैव एंगेज द स्टूडेंट्स विद एन नंबर ऑफ एक्टिविटीज. There is a myth. When I was teaching in class 1, I got to know, because as per MIs, I'll talk about MIs little later, but then as per MIs, I am at least 7 MIs expert. I am having seven multiple intelligences, expertise in seven MIs. So what I found with respect of MIs, if I am watching students who are very good at maths up to class 3, they have started lacking interest. They've gradually they were lacking interest in mathematics. Why it is happening? And I did little bit of introspect, little bit of study on it, and I got to know that yes, plus is very easy. And then on the other hand, repeated addition, multiplication sounds easy to the students. They are able to do it. But the moment we are reaching to the subtraction and division, they have started lacking their interest. Why it happened? Because it is the base of any mathematics thing. So what I have observed, that how we are teaching in the method that plus का opposite minus है. We have said, all the teachers are stating to the students that कुछ नहीं करना है, इसमें ऐड करना है, इसमें हटा देना है. But just think with the level of that child कि उसको क्या पता है प्लस क्या है और माइनस क्या है. तो what I have initiated another the engagement program, that while teaching plus, after doing correction of the copies, I have started distributing copies in a way that I made some monitors and I told them, this is the bundle of the copy, just count it, and first you have to part it half. How many numbers of copies you are having? If suppose you are having 10 copies, you have to make it half half. So just give another half to another friend and he will distribute, and one set you will distribute. So there, back of the mind, without teaching subtraction, what I have started doing, I have started making them doing the subtraction things. And this way I was keep on rotating for 6 months. I have not taught them any minus thing, any subtraction thing, any division thing in class 1. But many of the other activities I've engaged them, copy distribution, anything else. When I was taking them out, because I feel even language you cannot, it is not mandatory to teach language in the classroom. I was taking out all the students. I've started asking, okay, now today we have to learn adjectives. So all of you have to give 4 5 lines on the vehicles, what are all the vehicles which are parked over here. There were the huge trees even. So I was asking, okay, tell something, some few lines, 5 lines, or the few words about this tree. So all of them were speaking about adjective only of that particular thing. So back of the mind, I was telling them that this is the adjective. So here I have started introducing interdisciplinary. Nowadays it is known as interdisciplinary thing. But then way back, I'm talking about 1999, 2000, I've started doing this thing without knowing, because I was not very well versed in at that time in the education field. So I was not aware of that this particular thing is known as interdisciplinary thing, or doing with learning something experiential learning. These big terminologies I came to know very after many a time. So what I did, I've started doing this. Okay, we were here to study English, but then how number of trees are there? Now you have to calculate all the count all the trees, and then you have to tell me how many smaller trees are there and how many very small trees are there. So we have to start subtracting from the all the trees. We will start doing minus from this main whole counting, whatever you have done pura count jitna kar liya, and then you have to minus the small and then the smallest one. So after 6 months, when I introduced subtraction on board, wonderfully they were very much aware of, and they have, without any efforts of mine, they have started doing. They did this, what you call, divide division also, because I have engaged them throughout. And due to this time, within this time period of 6 months, I was keep on focusing on their language enhancement also. And wonderfully, they have started writing their own answers by their own, whatever I was teaching them, because I have curtailed the syllabus with 50%. That 24 chapters were there, and I've brought it up to 10 chapters, in which chapters I have kept for only for reading and enactment, and rest 8 chapters they had to do. So whenever whatever I have taught them, in irrespective of Hindi, EVS or English, I told them you have to write your own answers. And then I realized as a teacher that pre primary, primary, at least up to class 5 or 7 level teachers, we have to provide them at least free periods in a day, because it was really hectic. We are we are putting down the things on the teacher's head, that you have to go with this blah blah things, with innovative things, and we are not providing them time. We are occupying them throughout the day when they will do the correction work. Because I was having 42 students in a class, and it took a week completely to me to come do the correction work of that those notebooks, because every answer was different, irrespective of EVS, irrespective of English or Hindi. So every answer was different. So I had to focus on every answer. होता क्या है जनरली, जब हम पढ़ रहे थे और अभी भी बोर्ड पे आंसर आ गया, स्टूडेंट हैव नोटेड इट डाउन, जब टीचर ने कॉपी करेक्शन किया तो देखा ये आंसर आपका गलत है, ओके, कट किया एंड रीराइट इट का मतलब किसी अच्छे बच्चे का कॉपी देखो एंड रीराइट इट, कॉपी इट. But when you'll start such kind of practices, how will you do so? You yourself have to do the correction, and when you are doing the correction, call the student immediately that this actually is right, because concept was very much clear. They have written actual concepts, but something they were writing some wrong things. So I had to call them. I called the students, I told them that this is the wrong way, this is the right way of writing answer, and I had to wrote the answers over there. So if out of 20 students were making mistakes, so 20 copies I have made by my own. I have given the answers to them, because this I have made, the system was made by me only, that they should start thinking and write something on their own. Sometimes it was wonderful experiences when I was doing the copy correction at home. I many a times I burst out with the laugh, because their answer was so funny. It was like how they thought about this, we even cannot reach up to there where they thought and they wrote. So
Right.
it was wonderful experience. It was really wonderful, a wonderful experience. That one whole year was like learning for me. It was not, I was not teaching them, I was learning from them. One of the student I know, uh, we were going with these traffic light drawing. So what he did, he colored both the lights black and one was green. So teachers may marked it correct wrong. So I why you have marked it wrong, and why मैम ये देखो गलत करके लाया है. I said okay, call this child. So I had words. I have asked. जबकि वहाँ 5,000 बच्चे थे. School was having 5,000 students, but if you are having passion of doing something, na, you will get the time. So I have called that child and I have asked, why you have drawn this? It is wrong, don't you think? So he answered me. He was a first class child, and he answered me, मैम जब हम रोड पे जाते हैं ना, तो एक ही लाइट विजिबल होता है. व्हेन इट इज रेड दैट मींस वी हैव टू स्टॉप, बट रेस्ट ऑल बोथ वर ब्लैक. सो एंड व्हेन ग्रीन लाइट हो जाता है ना, तो सिर्फ ग्रीन ही दिखता है, रेस्ट ब्लैक हो जाते हैं एंड विल मूव. And that was the keen observation of that child. Immediately I made a call to their parents, his parent, and I talked to them. I told them usko अच्छी अच्छी books लाके दो. He might be the very good future scientist. He might become a very good scientist. Still they are in my connection. Sometime they are calling me, even now they are in 12th. So 12, not even 12th, they have passed 12th. So that is what the wonderful thing I have observed. And for this, yes, engagement was very, very much necessary. One of my child I remember was I gave some them topic to write on the school. You have to write at least 10 sentences on your school. So many of the students have wrote 5 lines, 2 lines, 10 lines even. One of the kid I remember in class 1, he wrote English. He wrote
Yeah.
everything with English spelling, but in Hindi and little bit of English. So my head person was asking, ये तो ऐसे लिखा है? मैंने कहा, मैम, for me, this is a start. Now he can do. And wonderful thing is nobody's spelling is wrong, because I gone through with that those charts which I have made every day for 5 minutes. I was repeating them. I taught them how to take help of those charts while you are writing something, how to make the correct spelling, because all those were the vowel charts and the phonetic charts. So this way I have started growing, I could say, because 10th, 11th, 12th, when I was teaching, it was like, yes, what subject knowledge I am having, I am very good at it, and I started teaching. But when I taught this smaller class, it was the beginning when I can do anything. And then I realized now it is high time for me if I really want to make a change, because I'm a kind of patriotic person. So at that time I realized, nahi, if I really want to make a change, I have to become the head of any institute. Then only I'll become that change. Then only I make the things, because अभी मैं तो 42 students को मैंने challenge के जैसे accept किया, and I made it. And throughout when I left that school, even then also I told management, higher authorities, please इसको ये teacher देना ये class को, वरना इसको और कोई नहीं पढ़ा सकता. They are not like कि कोई भी पढ़ा ले जाए उनको, because I have made classroom library. They have started doing that, and wonderfully thing was, मेरे को उनको कंपेल नहीं करना पड़ता था, पुश नहीं करना पड़ता था, प्रेशर नहीं करना पड़ता था कि शांत रहिए. टीचर नहीं है क्लास में, nobody even found कि वो टीचर वहां कोई नहीं है, because they were having, I have developed that habit कि अपना बुक निकाला लाइब्रेरी, अगर कोई नहीं है तो they have taken their, they've started to reading by after taking the books. And the moment teacher came, the monitor of the library submit the books, and the things have done. So all the teachers, even the arrangement was we have, if sometimes we have to make the arrangements of the teachers, all the teachers demanded that नहीं हमें सी सेक्शन में जाना है, बिकॉज वहां बच्चे शांत रहते हैं, और वो कुछ भी परेशानी नहीं होती मैडम, वो अपनी बुक्स निकालते हैं, पढ़ने लगते हैं, जिनको अपना कुछ वर्क रह गया है वो वर्क करते हैं. So, yes, I've made this way. Now, particularly if I'm talking about the engagements, it is not only that lower classes we have to engage the child, in our higher classes also, because if I'm somewhere in any school, I'll start the things from the ground root engagement of things. That just I have told you all the story I have narrated. उसके according आप class 8 तक जा सकते हैं. But बिफोर आफ्टर दैट, हाउ विल यू एंगेज? क्योंकि अगर मैं किसी नए स्कूल में जा रही हूँ तो मुझे तो पूरा एंटायर लॉट मिल रहा है और सारे के सारे डिफरेंट है. बट देन ऑल्सो आई मेड द थिंग्स पॉजिटिवली, how to engage. So I made the plan of MIs, which I was talking about, gardener's theory, multiple
Right, right,
intelligences.
right.
So I made a graphic thing to check out the how many matlab, students are intelligence possessing the how many intelligencies with them. वो जब एक बार फिगर आउट हो जाता है वो 9 इंटेलिजेंसीज में से कि कोई कौन काइनेस्थेटिक है, कोई काइनेस्थेटिक और स्पेशल दोनों होता है, तो हाउ विल वी हैव टू एंगेज. सो फ्रॉम देयर विल स्टार्ट टीचर्स स्टार्ट गिविंग देम पर्सनलाइज्ड टच, और वहीं से एंगेजमेंट शुरू होती है, क्योंकि मुझे पता है मैं 50 बच्चों को एक साथ बचा पढ़ा रही हूँ और 50 स्टूडेंट्स. जीडी गोयनका में तो बेस्ट पार्ट इज कि वी आर हैविंग 24:1 रेशियो. बट अदरवाइज अदर स्कूल्स आर नॉट हैविंग, दे आर नॉट, बिकॉज जो बहुत बड़े बड़े स्कूल्स हैं जहाँ 5,000 का 6,000 का स्ट्रेंथ है, दे आर कीपिंग 50 स्टूडेंट्स इन ए क्लासरूम. सो एक टीचर के पास में पीरियड ही 45 मिनट्स का है मैक्सिमम. सो वो तो एक एक बच्चे के पास एक एक बार नजर भी नहीं डाल सकती. सो हाउ विल वी एंगेज? बट देन इट इज नेसेसरी. सो बिफोर दैट वी हैव टू डू आवर होमवर्क, कि बच्चे को हमने समझ लिया जब एक बार कि ये बच्चे की चीजें. समटाइम्स हमने जब क्लास में हम गए, मैं हायर क्लासेस की बात कर रही हूँ, एंड 80% स्टूडेंट्स आर रेडी टू लर्न व्हाट वी आर टीचिंग, बट 20% आर नॉट नो व्हाट टू डू. So the best thing is हमने क्योंकि पूरा का पूरा लेआउट बना लिया है, हमें इसमें आगे जाके प्रोजेक्ट्स भी रेडी करवाने हैं एज सीबीएसई इज मैंडेटरी। अभी है, बट इनिशियली आई फॉट फॉर दिस कि नहीं, बच्चा अगर वैसे नहीं कर रहा, जिसको राइटिंग कैपेसिटी नहीं है वो और उसको नॉलेज है, तो वी हैव टू चेक द नॉलेज ना। सो व्हाई नॉट वी आर गिविंग देम सम अदर असाइनमेंट्स, वी विल चेक नॉलेज, देयर नॉलेज फ्रॉम देयर। सो उन 20 स्टूडेंट्स को ऑलरेडी प्रोजेक्ट्स हमें पता है बनाने ना। जो अभी पढ़ने का मन नहीं है, डू इट, इसको अपने आप कर लो। नाउ जो यहाँ लैक हो रहा है, जो मैं आज पढ़ा रही हूँ, वो तो वो 20 बच्चे स्टूडेंट्स ने नहीं किया, क्योंकि उसको तो मैंने अलग काम दे दिया। हाउ विल दे लर्न द थिंग्स? sometimes peer group is a very important role into it। हम वॉलंटियर टीचिंग का एक सेगमेंट रखते हैं, तो उससे बेटर मैंने क्या किया, मैंने बच्चों को इस तरीके से डिवाइड कर दिया कि एक थोड़ा सा मीडियोकर बच्चा है, एक थोड़ा सा स्मार्ट है, एक बहुत अच्छा है। हर क्लास में इस तरीके के सेट मिल जाते हैं। सो वी हैव ऑर्गेनाइज स्टूडेंट्स इन दैट वे, और उन्होंने उनको पढ़ा दिया। अब वहां कहीं ये चाह रहा है, सो वी आर मोस्ट वेलकमिंग देम कि ठीक है, हम बैठे हैं, वेन एवर यू आर फ्री, वेन एवर आई एम फ्री, डू कम टू अस एंड विल डू इट। सो ये एक एंगेजमेंट हो गया, ठीक है, एक एक तरीके का एंगेजमेंट हो गया। फिर प्रोजेक्ट्स हमने इस तरीके के दे दिए कि सारे के सारे वो काम कर रहे हैं, तो उस चैप्टर को हम स्किप भी कर सकते हैं। बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज, हैंड ऑन एक्टिविटीज होती हैं। एज अनुराग त्रिपाठी सर हैज सेड वंस कि आज का वो सिनेरियो आ चुका है कि हमें बच्चों को थियोरी लैब में पढ़ाना चाहिए और प्रैक्टिकल क्लासरूम में कराना चाहिए। सो आई ऑल्सो बिलीव इट एंड आई वॉज कीप ऑन डूइंग इट, स्टिल आई एम कीपिंग इट ऑन। जैसे सिंपल सा चीज है, कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वेटनेस, तो उसके लिए बच्चों को इंगेज कर दिया कि कुछ बच्चों को हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, टीचर्स पढ़ा रहे हैं, कुछ बच्चों को लेके चले गए, पानी में एक डिप किया। ये क्लास अप टू क्लास 2 3 तक ये एक्टिविटी हो सकती है। क्लास पीजी ग्रुप में, प्ले ग्रुप में आई हैव इंट्रोड्यूस की शेप ऑफ द वाटर। उसको तो पानी पीना आता है, बस ठीक से बोलना भी नहीं आता। बट प्ले ग्रुप में जब ये एक्टिविटी इंट्रोड्यूस किया, यू वोंट बिलीव, आफ्टर 6 months वी हैव स्टार्टेड गेटिंग द रिजल्ट्स। पानी का कोई शेप नहीं है, पानी का कोई कलर नहीं है, जिस वेसल में डालेंगे वही शेप है, और अगर कलरफुल वेसल है तो वही कलर है। वाई वी वाटर इज लुकिंग ब्लू इन ओशन एंड रिवर? बिकॉज ऑफ द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ स्काई। वाई एट नाइट इट इज लुकिंग ब्लैक? बिकॉज ऑफ द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ स्काई। सो बहुत सारी चीजें, हैंड ऑन एक्टिविटीज हैं, और एक क्लास में आप 50 बच्चों को अलग अलग तरीके से एंगेज कर सकते हैं। वॉट एल्स डू यू वॉन्ट?
डेफिनेटली मैम, आई कंप्लीटली अग्री विद यू एंड माय डियर व्यूअर्स, आई एम श्योर आप जब मैम को सुन रहे होंगे तो आपको लगा होगा कि मैम उस ज़माने की बात करी है जब हमें टेक्नोलॉजी एजुकेशन में हम यूज़ नहीं करते थे। आज तो हमारे पास इतने सारे टूल्स हैं। तो आई थिंक मैम आपकी पूरी कन्वर्सेशन से जो आपने हमें स्ट्रैटेजीज़ बताई, जो अलग-अलग एग्ज़ाम्पल्स दिए, आई थिंक आई कैन कंक्लूड दिस दैट यू नीड टू हैव दैट थिंग विदिन यू, दैट आई वांट माय चिल्ड्रन टू गेन नॉलेज, टू लर्न एंड टू अंडरस्टैंड, टू अप्लाई द नॉलेज। बिकॉज़ मैम आपने आपका एग्ज़ाम्पल दिया कि मुझे रोड लर्निंग जमती नहीं थी। आई वाज़
हाँ,
लाइक व्हाई द हेल आई एम लर्निंग दिस? व्हाट इज़ द आउटकम ऑफ दिस? सो ये जो
एक्चुअली
थॉट है, ये हमें बच्चे के अंदर डालना चाहिए कि आपको आपका जो आप पढ़ रहे हो उसका आउटकम क्या है? व्हाई यू आर स्टडिंग? व्हेन दे अंडरस्टैंड द व्हाई, दे अंडरस्टैंड ऑटोमैटिकली। एंड मुझे आपका जो एग्ज़ाम्पल था कि हर बच्चे का आंसर अलग था, दैट वाज़ द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल थिंग। बिकॉज़ जनरली हम क्या करते हैं, हम क्लास में सेम क्वेश्चन कॉपी करवाते हैं, नोटबुक से बच्चे लर्न करते हैं एंड दे जस्ट ओमिटेड। हम देखते हैं
हाँ,
दे फॉरगॉट फ्यू वर्ड्स एंड दे विल नॉट इवन राइट द आंसर देन। सो दैट आई
yes,
थिंक दैट इज़ द बेस्ट पार्ट, बिकॉज़ अ चाइल्ड शुड अंडरस्टैंड टू एक्सप्रेस हिमसेल्फ, एंड हाउ
yes.
डज़ ही एक्सप्रेस व्हेन you give him that liberty? So you are already following whatever today the new education policy is talking
Is the
about.
way.
You know,
Ac-
yeah, adding, taking up regional languages, teaching different
Yes,
subjects together. If it even it's a maths class, it's nowhere written that you cannot have the conversation in Hindi or English and you can take examples. So I think Anamika ma'am, if I had to name you, you are a very visionary leader who have a very far sightedness that make a child gain knowledge, educate him in literal sense. Don't just go for academic excellence. See that you
actually,
are making a
I
child
believe.
a lifelong learner. So this is the beautiful thing. And मैम आपने शुरुआत की थी about girls कि कैसे गर्ल को ज़्यादा educate कर दिया, and ये actually my viewers must be wondering ऐसा होता है क्या? But yes, even if you go to some states in India, even some cities in India today, Why do they, female infanticides are there? Because लड़की हो गई तो ये खर्चा होगा, ये सोच के they do all these things.
गर्ल चाइल्ड
So
का एक्चुअली माय फादर, मैं यहाँ पे ये कहूंगी, माय फादर वाज at that time he was having a great vision because we were I'm having sisters and two brothers I'm having. Okay, so we four sisters, my at that time my father sent us an English medium school. He has not,
right,
because at that time the system was कि आप बनारस से गांव से आए हैं और बच्चे को, क्योंकि most of the his friends were sending their wards in Saraswati Shishu Mandir. I'm not doing anything, मैं कुछ ऐसा नहीं कह रही कि सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर इज नॉट गुड, बट उस समय भी उनको ये था नहीं मेरे बच्चों की एजुकेशन बहुत अच्छी होनी चाहिए. एंड ड्यू टू हिम ओनली very first prize as a best orator, as in yes, as a best orator I have got when I was in class 1, because
wow,
of him only. So he always promoted us, and he discussed when I was in 12th I had to speak about the something AIDS. Some topic was related to AIDS, and at that time it was a complete taboo. But then
yeah,
he made me understood actually how it spreads and what are the consequences, what preventions we have to took, because उस समय ये था सिर्फ इंजेक्शन और ये सारी चीजें ही नहीं थी. जो एक इंटीमेसी पार्ट था, फिजिकल इंटीमेसी का, ही मेड मी अंडरस्टूड very properly, and there was nothing like to feel shy on it, or it was not, the way he made me understood, it was not taboo. So
right.
this was a wonderful thing which I have inherited from my father.
True,
So
true. And he is
doing
your role model and inspiration today. So,
yes,
my dear viewers, I'm sure there are so many things that you have understood today, that how teachers also, have to understand the needs of the children and make reflective arrangements in their own selves to tweak their teaching techniques and adopt technology and ensure that the learning is happening in a fun manner, gamify the learning, as ma'am gave a lot of examples where she has actually gamified it, like making the children wet. So even when it's not the age, it's about how you teach the child and how you ensure that the child is learning. So ma'am, now we reach to a rapid fire round. We will ask you some personal as well as professional questions. You have to
yes.
answer me in only one word, single word
Okay,
you have to use, all
I
right?
will try my best.
Sure, ma'am. My first question in rapid fire round: what do you do when you're not working as your hobbies?
My hobbies are plantation. I can spend throughout my day with my plants, to talking to them, to regenerate them, everything I can do with them. And other than this, I can teach students from slum areas on the road. I can do this.
Great. Moving ahead to my next question. One tip for our teachers, how they can make teaching effective.
Learn from your past. बिकॉज
Great.
व्हाट यू फील लाइक कि मेरे साथ ये नहीं हुआ, ऐसा होता तो मैं और अच्छी होती. सो जबकि कहा जाता है डोंट पीप इन योर पास, बट आई रियली फील यू हैव टू पीप इन योर पास, एंड यू हैव टू सी व्हाट रॉन्ग हैपेंड विद यू, जस्ट मेक इट करेक्ट फॉर योर फ्यूचर.
So, introspect, dear teachers, give time to reflect again in back to your past. So, moving ahead to my next question now, which is your favorite vacation destination?
Rishikesh. I'm associated. Actually, I'm a spiritual person, so I'm associated with Swami Sivanand Divine Life Society. So I would like to spend my vacation over there with being with myself by the side of the Ganges, by at the bank of Ganges. Actually, I am an introvert. Sorry, intrapersonal. People think that I'm interpersonal, but I actually am intrapersonal person, because I love to be with myself.
All right. So, moving ahead to my next question now, any sports activity that you are actively involved in?
Yes, I was a sport person. I played kabaddi and volleyball, and still I love to. Even I love to skate with the kids.
All right, great. Coming down to my next question now. One thing that you would want a government to change in our current education system.
The first and the foremost thing, this I said to my one of my teacher in government schools, this should be a clear mandate that they all government teachers have to teach their words also in that same school, so that they'll start making positive changes over there, because right now they are feeling like कि बच्चा कहीं भी बैठ रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, हमारा बच्चा तो अच्छा पढ़ रहा है, इनको कैसे भी पढ़ा के निकाल दो. So that is what the thing I feel like.
Coming down to the last question of this session, if you were granted one wish, what would you wish for?
I will wish for, I want to make a school with the complete Vedic reflection, with parallel education, which is the requirement of the hour of the need of the hour. Today, I'll go with today's scenario and I'll take up those things also, because actually CC pattern is has have been extracted from there only. That is learning with doing. So I'll make a school like this, and I want to
Beautiful.
run that.
Well, that is the school which every child would want to go in, and parents would definitely want their child to learn from there. So, ma'am, now before we close our session, I would like you to give an ending note. And the closing note would be for our aspiring educators. What would you like to tell our aspiring, those who are aspiring to be a school leader or aspiring to be a teacher? What would be the closing note for them?
My closing note is, I always ask my teachers or my staff to do the things which I have already done. If I'm not be able to do so, how come I compel them to do? Because for showing them, if suppose for example I really want to give, just say you are on a round, and if you have seen some paper bits or something, I myself will pick it up. I just simply give them one suggestion or tip, ki do, ask your children, for teachers, ask your children to do the things, but first do first yourself, then only you will make them disciplined. So be disciplined yourself, be in discipline first yourself, and then you will uh, floor this thing to the students, then only they'll follow. And similarly for head also, whatever you want to extract from your teachers, first you have to show that, then only, because otherwise they will not believe you. So if you want to make a belief system, you have to be in the system, you have to do so. So don't become boss, become a leader.
Wonderful. So, to all my dear viewers, I hope this session has been helpful and has provided you a lot of insights and practical ideas for enhancing students' engagement and motivation in the classroom. Let us all continue to strive towards creating a learning environment that empowers and inspires our children to reach their full potential. Thank you so much, Anamika ma'am, for your time. We really enjoyed the conversation with a lot of practical ideas. Hope to see you again on our show. My dear viewers, till then, do subscribe to the channel, like and share. Stay tuned as we bring to you best educators from across the globe. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Seema. Thanks a lot for calling me on the board. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.